we're talking about 1D initiatives, and particularly looking at the scorecard. And as you look at the scorecard, certainly as far as educational preparedness, we've got a lot of work to do. We've clearly need to better prepare young people for graduation, get them to college or trade or technical, and then we're also looking at retention too, how to keep our talent in our community as we move forward. So share with me a little bit about what you've been about in your experience in education. You've had a long, deep history in terms of making change happen. So share a little bit more about what you've...
Okay, well in 1978, I opened the Nataki Talibah Schoolhouse of Detroit with my husband. The school's named after our daughter, Nataki Talibah N'Namdi, who died in 1974. And I'd have to say, I was an educator, a secondary educator, not an elementary. And when Nataki died, I felt compelled to make something of this. I couldn't let it just be a tragedy. And with my educational background, I'd always been concerned about where my own children would go to school, what type of school I wanted for them. Mm-hmm. So I thought, this is what we have to do. We have to make her name. We have to take her name and we have to build a school so that she'll be immortal. And I also needed something to work toward. I needed to feel some kind of passion toward something other than sorrow. Mm-hmm. And so we did this. I went back to school and went back to graduate school and got an elementary certificate as well and a master's in education. And we opened the school with 18 children, and when we opened it, 3 were ours of those 18. And now here we are 31 years later, and we have about 430 kids, K through 8th.
Oh, fantastic. And you're also obviously a proud graduate of Leadership Detroit, and,
yes.
and we were talking a little bit about that. And so tell us a little bit about your experience in Leadership Detroit and how you've been able to sustain that experience.
Well, it's been an interesting experience. It's almost like your high school class, There's so many people that are in my life now from my Leadership Detroit class. I see them. They've helped me with fundraisers for the school. I retired from the school in '08, and many of my leadership members were there, at that particular occasion. We've helped each other with our different projects. Our different interests, and it was just rich. I learned a lot. At that point in my career, I was so when you start something, you're maintaining it and you're trying to grow it, you need some reflection time. Mm-hmm. And I think that was probably my first really structured reflection time to figure out what have I been doing and how have I been doing and what do I want to do with what I know now.